Well, hello everyone, welcome back guys, hope you all are doing well. This is Mohammad Badrudduja and today we are going to solve another machine from Hackthebox. The machine name is support. This is a Windows box and the machine difficulty level is medium. So without wasting time, let's just start it. So I'm gonna start the scanning with the nmap. So as always, nmap space hyphen s capital C for the default scripts, space hyphen s capital V for version enumeration, and this time I'm going to do a aggressive scan. So space hyphen capital A, and I'm going to use timing template with space uppercase T, and I'm going to use level of timing template 4. So after that, just target IP, so 10.10.11.174, and I want to save the scan results in a file named as default.nmap. You can choose any file name as you want. So I already ran the scan, so I'm just going to show you the scan result. Cat default.nmap, and here you can see bunch of ports open. Port number 53, this is TCP port default for DNS, so it's using simple DNS plus. Port number 88, again this is the TCP port, the state is open and Kerberos sec. So that's indicating that perhaps the target system is going to be the domain controller or Active Directory server. RPC is open, NetBIOS port is again open, and this is again another indication that the server is going to be your domain controller or Active Directory, because LDAP port is open. And here, as you can see, Microsoft Windows Active Directory LDAP, and we have a domain name here which is support.htb. Next is SMB shares are there. The port is open 445, K password 5, again interesting port, and at last you have LDAP and TCP wrapped. Interesting information here is this one: message signing is enabled and required. So message signing is enabled and required by default in Windows network operating system or Windows servers. So first of all, I want to list the SMB share and I will see whether or not we can access these SMB shares or not. And I'm going to do it with SMB client space hyphen capital L for list the share, and the target IP 10.10.11.174. Hit enter, and yes, we can list. And among all those shares, this support tools is interesting because in the comment it is mentioned that support staff tools. That means maybe the IT staff put the required softwares or tools here, and whenever they need to install it on any machine, they just access this share and install the tools. So I'm going to access this one, paste that, and I don't want to list it, I just want to access it. Okay, hit enter, enter again, and we are in. So ls, list again, and we have all these tools here: the 7-zip, notepad++, putty, sysinternal suite. This is going to be the big file because all the sysinternal tools are there. Userinfo.exe. This seems interesting because all these are well-known applications, right? But this one is a bit unknown for me, at least. Windir Estate and Warshark, all these are well known. So I'm just going to grab this file. So get userinfo.exe.zip, hit enter. All these files you can download, but this file you cannot simply download. You have to use the socket option in the SMB client tool. The socket option, space hyphen socket hyphen option. And you have to specify the options like TCP no delay and keep alive. These are the parameters you have to define in that option, and then you can only install download this file. So for now we have users info file with us, and let's go. We are going to extract it here. So extract is complete. Now access this directory. and we have too many DLL files. Okay, all these DLL files, and this is the main executable file. So whenever you are going to execute this file, it is going to load these DLLs. Okay, now there is one configuration file, and let's see what's inside this file. And here, as you can see, it seems like it is built on .NET framework, and the version of .NET framework is version 4.8. So because this is built on .NET framework, so I'm going to first send this file to my Windows machine, and from there I will see what this file is all about. So I already sent this file to my Windows machine, and let's go. I'm going to actually access this file on my Windows machine so that we can execute it. So I'm going to use xfreeRDP, okay, /u for the username is going to be admin, /p for the password, that is going to be 123456, because this is just our testing machine, like sandbox. Okay, and v is for 20.154, something like this, 154. So let's go and access this. Okay, so as we hit enter, we got our Windows machine, and now in Windows machine I already have this file with me. Now if I open this, you can see all these DLL files are there. Okay, and user info, this is the executable file. So what I'm going to do here is, because this is built on .NET framework, so I'm going to open this file on DNSPy to decompile it. And this is my DNSPy. I'm just going to file option and going to open, and let's open the executable file. So we are in. Now I'm going to just expand this and let's see what's inside. Okay, so here, as you can see, there are three important parts. First is user info, second one is user info.commands, and third one is user info.service. Okay, so I'm first going to see what's inside user info. So once I click on user info, you can see there are few options. Find user option, and the second one is find user option. This is the first one. Get user option is the second one, and global options and program. So let's see what's inside find user option. So if you just click on this, it is going to load file find user option. And in find user option, you can see there are two parameters or two arguments. The first argument is first, which is used for first name, and second option is last, which is used to extract the last name. Okay, then let's see what's inside get user option. So in get user option, it seems like, as well as the name is concerned, get user. So if you want to get the specific user, you can use username and specify the username. The last one is global option, and in global option there is verbose. Okay, let's execute this file. So I'm going to execute it, userinfo.exe, hit enter. So userinfo.exe is not recognized as an internal command because we are not inside that directory. Dir userinfo.exe, this is the directory. So cd userinfo.exe, dir, and now we are inside this directory. So let's try to execute this file. Okay, so what we saw in the commands, like this command, find command, right? So find command we find here in the find options, or actually these are the commands. So find user command and get user command. So for finding a user, we need to specify find, which we see here. Okay, and within this find command, you can use these options, which is first name and last name. Okay, first name and this one is going to be your last name. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Okay. Get user. So inside get user, you have to specify command user, and we have here user. Okay, fine. And the argument for the user is going to be this get user option. You have to specify the username. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to try find, because we don't know what users are there, but how we will find that? We have to connect our system to, okay, so I'm going to connect it, and make sure you already made a record in your etc host file with the domain name support.htb, which I already created. Okay, so user info space find, and if I just hit enter, you can see it is going to say at least one of these argument must be there, either first name or last name. So if I say, to be sure, just I want to first ping support.htb. Let's see if it's, yeah, it's resolving the name. That means the entry is already there. So CLS, and now space hyphen first, and let's say A or anything like this, or we can do just put star. I think I need to cancel from here, Control C. Okay, and yes, we got it. So although it gives us full names, I think this is the first name, this is the last name, first name, last name, first name, last name. Let's try space hyphen last and star. Same thing. So, but how this executable is able to fetch all these usernames, and these usernames it's fetching from the Active Directory, because the target is Active Directory. So this thing is very important if you can think like this, because this is just executable. So maybe these all the users are hard coded in this executable, or it is grabbing all these users from the Active Directory. And if it is grabbing all those users from the Active Directory, it is going to be possible with the LDAP. And we saw in the initial scan that LDAP is enabled. And to grab or to execute the LDAP, to grab all these information about the users, like usernames, so there must be a user information, means user credential should be there in userinfo.exe, and with that user it is going to call the LDAP service to grab the information of these users. So let's go back here, and user info is done, user info commands are done. Let's see inside the service what's inside the service, and once you click in the userinfo.service, you can see there is LDAP query. That means whenever you are going to execute command to find or to get the user, it is going to execute the LDAP query on it. And if you click on LDAP query, so it is going to take us to the function. This is the service. Okay, and here you can see there is LDAP query function, and inside this function there is a variable password, and within this variable it is going to put the password. It is going to get the password from somewhere, from a function named as get password. This is another function from where it is going to grab the password and put it in this variable. Then it is going to call the LDAP service here with this username. So this is the server name, which is domain controller active directory, and this is the username. So here this LDAP is actually the username. Okay. And this URL is for accessing or calling the LDAP service. Fine. And where is the password? So password, it is actually getting the password from this function inside the protected. So just click on this, and now you can see we are in get password function. And if we see here, it is going to create an array, and inside this array it is going to convert from base 64 string and going to grab ink_password, which seems like encrypted password within the protected. So if we click on this function or this argument, if we click on this ink_password, so you can see here it is, and this is, oh come on, no, come on, where we are on the protected, and inside protected we are inside get password, and within the get password, once we click on ink password, we have this password. So this is the password. And there is one more interesting thing here, which is key, and this is the key to decrypt, I think. We need to actually see this function completely. So there is one array, and it is going to convert from base 64 string, which is this, inside the protected ink_password, and then it is going to put another array 2, okay, and put the value of array 1 into 2. Then it is going to start a loop, a for loop, and integer is I, which is equal to 0, and the value of I must be less than to the array length, and every time it is going to increase the value of I 1. So again, next time the value of I will be 1, and then 2, then 3, then 4, but until the value of I is less than array length. Okay, and inside loop it is going to put the value of I, and it is executing, I think this one is XOR, and then it is going to call this key and modulus the same value of I with the modulus of key length, and again it is going to execute XOR and 2, 2, 3. Fine. So to decrypt that, we can create same thing in the Python. Okay, so let's go. I'm going back here, new, and just keep this here like this and put it here, so we can see that and we can work on that. Shebang user/bin/env, and let's say Python 3 import, and what we need to import base 64, because we need to decode it. Then we need to create array 1 and array 2, but before this we need to put these values. So I'm going to copy this, come here, paste that, and again the next value is going to be the value of key. So copy that, come here, let's say key is equal to this. Fine. Next thing, to create array 1, so arr1 is equal to base 64 dot b64 dot decode, right? So decode, come on, and decode what? Inc underscore password. The same thing what it's doing here. We are doing the same thing. Okay. So, okay, we decoded. Now the next step, it's creating another array, which is array 2. So we are again going to create array 2, but there is a little bit thing which you need to understand. So this array, I put this array empty, and whatever in this loop we are going to perform, we actually append that value. From the beginning, it is going to take no value for array 2, but once the loop gets started, so whatever value it gets, it is going to append into the array 2. Fine. So same like this, now we are going to execute for loop. So for loop, and let's say I in range length of the array 1, which is arr1. Okay, and then array 2 I. So here I'm going to say arr2 dot append append, and append what? Append array 1, arr1, inside we have I. Then we need to have here the XOR, and then key I modulus length of key, right? And then at last what it takes this value, which is 223. So 223, that's it. And last but not least, we just need to print the password. So the password will be printed in and join it with array 2. So arr2, that's it. So I'm going to save it, and let's say save it as test.py and hit enter. Now go back here, come here, and Python 3 test.py, hit enter, and there is something off. In line number 8, base 64 dot, oh come on, b64 decode. Save it, run it again, and this time it's saying unsupported operand type in the for loop, int and string. So I think array2 dot append, okay, in the for loop. So I'm going to convert all of these into char. Okay, not a. Run again. Did you mean chr? Yes, I mean chr. I already put chr. Control S and run it again. Okay, we are running Python 3, so I think we need to set it to bytes. Control S, and this time hopefully we will have everything. And yeah, so this is the password. Copy that, come here and note. So the username we see there is LDAP and the password is this. So save it here and that's it, I think. Okay, so I'm going to just disconnect that. Disconnect and close it from here. Clear that and come back here. So fine. Okay. Now we have the credentials for LDAP user and we can also query LDAP service to get all the users information and the objects there, and we will do that with LDAP search. And for this I'm going to open new tab because sometimes it has some lengthy results. So LDAP search space -x space capital H. Let's see, LDAP search space -h. Okay, so first thing first, X is used for simple authentication, fine. Next is H for the URI, which we saw before. The URI is going to be like LDAP : and support.htb. This is going to be the URI. Okay, H for URI. So URI is going to be LDAP, same what we see, support.htb, and then space capital D. Capital D we use for bind.dn. Okay, so it is going to be support.htb and the username, which is LDAP. Okay, then space -w for the password, and the password is going to be this. Then space -b for the base DN, and it is going to be let's say DC is equal to support, comma DC is equal to HTB. And by default we know that once you install Active Directory, by default it creates the container named as users. So let's put here users, and I think fine. Just hit enter and there is something wrong. Okay, let's try that. Just here specify support, not HTTP. Yeah, this works. So once you analyze, once you see this result, so these are the groups. Guest, this is the username and it is inside users in the support.htb domain, and this is the DN for that. Okay, and this is the property object class is person. So you can also add here the object class or property if you want to just see like person, or if you want to just see the group. Okay, but that's fine. It is a bit big result, but no problem. So administrator is the user, fine. For.Victoria, what we saw before, and there is nothing special. Okay, nothing special. Go up. So support is the user, this is the username, and this user exists in users container, and this is the domain name, And if you go down, so here in info you can see Ironside 47, pleasure 40, watchful. So that seems something interesting, and let's copy that. So rest of the users don't have any information which is non-technical or which is interesting. So we can try the password for support user here. So I'm going to try it on, let's say, crack map exec SMB, and the IP address is 10.10.11.174 space -u. The username is support and space -p for the password, and the password is this. Hit enter. Okay, fine. We can also specify, because we can also specify here domain name with space -d. So support.htb. The same result, but there are switches to specify that. Okay, there is something else. So leave this error, but the important information is here. So SMB, first of all, it reveals a host name, which is domain controller. And if you see closely, we didn't get here pond, but we can access this in some way, maybe ps exec, or let's try something like if there is ws man port open or not. So sv space -p 5985, this is ws man port on 10.10.11.174. if this port is open, we can go for evil win rm. Until then, we can come here and we can execute crack map exec with winrm and 10.10.11.174 space -u support space -p, which is going to be this, and space -d support.htb. Hit enter. So it is looking for ws man on port number 5985, and as you can see, this time it gets spawned. That means if this port is open on 5985, we will be able to get session or shell on evil win rm. So here the port is already open. Let's go evil win rm space -i. This is the target IP, and then space -u is going to be support space -p is going to be the password. Hit enter, and we get the shell. So who am I? Support on domain support, and who am I /priv. Okay, so these are the privileges, and SE machine account privilege. This is interesting, and it could be a way to root this machine, because with this privilege you can add workstation to domain. Okay, so cd /desktop directory, and there you have the user flag. So that's it. This is going to be the part 1. In the next part, we will escalate our privilege and we will compromise the domain admin. So see you in the next video. If you like the content, please like, subscribe and share. Bye.